It's Little League Baseball night here at Falcon Park as the Auburn Doubledays take on the Finger Lakes Lakers. Good evening, everyone. I'm Evan Carocchio, joined alongside tonight by Mr. Ryan Story himself. We've got a fun game here. It's an exhibition game between the Auburn Doubledays and the Finger Lakes Lakers. The Lakers are a Rochester baseball team, obviously out of Rochester. They come into today's game with a record of 13 wins and 3 losses. And the Auburn Doubledays, they are going to be entering today's game with a record of 17 wins and 10 losses. We had some news this morning that a few of our Auburn Doubledays players actually made the all-star roster of the PGCBL. And shout out to number 20, Teddy Monahan, for making the roster. Shout out to number 23, Jonathan Griggs, for making the roster. And then shout out to Matthew Chope for making the roster as well. So congrats to the 3 Doubledays players for making the PGCBL All-Star lineup. We just found that out today. For me, I found out just a few hours ago. So, like I said, congrats to them. The Auburn Doubledays, like I said, they enter this one with a record of 17 wins and 10 losses, sitting at 63% on the season. They have 9 wins, 5 losses at home. They are on a 1-game losing streak after they lost on the 9th to the Geneva Red Wings, with the final score being 8-5. Out there on the mound, that's Tim Mack, number 17. This is his first pitching outing of this season, as the first pitch was a ball to the righty batter, Kyle Wood.
Yeah, Tim Mack, actually one of the assistant coaches for this Doubledays squad, but since this is an exhibition game against a team that's out of you look at the Rochester Baseball League, it's all former collegiate athletes. Might as well have Tim Mack go out there and get some innings pitched.
And there's his first strike as an Auburn Doubleday. We know that Tim Mack coached at Alfred State, I believe, right?
Yes, yeah, he coached at Alfred State, and he played at Westminster.
This one's roped at a line in a center field. Running in is Ryan Morrell, the center fielder, who grabs it and throws it in. And that will be a base hit for Kyle Wood to get things going for the Finger Lakes Lakers early on. Out there in the field for the Auburn Doubledays, from left to right, Dustin Wortham at third base, Luke Wire at shortstop, Tristan Rocha at second base, Jake Benavanga at first, Jose Taveras behind the dish, Stephen Ambrosio at left, Ryan Morrell, his last name we'll tell you about in a minute, is out there in center field, and Stephen Ambrosio's twin brother, Michael Ambrosio, out in right field, as that one is fouled off by Joe Wintermute.
Yes, after Kyle Wood got the single to lead off the Lakers, now it's Joe Wintermute. And, yeah, you mentioned Ryan Morrell out in center. If that last name sounds familiar, it's the same as Jacob Morrell. It's actually his dad out there in center right now.
The Doubledays are kind of doing anything today against the Finger Lakes Lakers. They're moving players around at their positions. They've got an assistant coach pitching and a father in center field. You know, this is just going to be one of those fun games. Because not only is it, this fun with all these new players, it's bagel night.
It is.
Here at Falcon Park. And what are we doing with the bagels tonight, Ryan?
I believe it's the Auburn Bagel Company. They'll be tossing bagels out into the crowd, so some of the fans out here, you have to be ready they got to have their hands ready to be catching some bagels.
Well, you better hope it's in between innings, because I'm going to go out there and try to get me some bagels myself.
Certainly. We'll hear the headset just slam against the desk as you go run out there.
Counts 2-2. This one was hit to Tristan Rocha, who throws it to second in time to get the lead runner, Kyle Wood, out. That's a fielder's choice hit, however, for Joe Wintermute. That puts him on first base safely. Wood is out, trying to advance, and here comes Pat Bingham, the first baseman tonight for the Lakers. He wears number 9, another righty in their lineup. There's one out here in the top of the first.
Bingham graduated from Fredonia back in 2022.
Rips this one in the center field. Underneath it is Ryan Morrell. He loses it a tad bit and makes the catch on the run. Tagging up, however, is Joe Wintermute. And look out there. That one gets completely away from, it looked like Luke Wire, the shortstop. He was trying to collect it and trying to get out Joe Wintermute. But good job there by Jose Taveras to recognize it and go make the stop to prevent Wintermute from advancing any further. So Pat Bingham flies out to Morrell for the second out. That's an F8 in the books, and Wintermute advances on the tag up. Here's Evan Cuba, who wears number 46 for the Lakers. He's their left fielder. He's working with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position for the Lakers. The pitch is in there, says the home plate umpire for strike 1 to Cuba. Tim Mack having an impressive outing for the Doubledays so far.
Yeah, Mack's been throwing around low 70s, high 60s at times. He hit 63 right there on the high breaking ball.
And Cuba had a duck out of the way of that one, making the count tied 1-1.
We do maybe like
1-1.
10 feet.
Breaking ball. This one's hit in a right field and dropped for a base hit. Gets past Jake Benavenga. Going to collect it is Michael Ambrosio. Scoring from second base is Joe Wintermute. Making his way to third base is Evan Cuba. The throw will not be in time. A triple for Evan Cuba that scores a run for the Lakers, making it 1-0 Finger Lakes.
Yeah, not the greatest start for Tim Mack, but he'll have the opportunity to bounce back there. Just a very well-placed hit by Cuba, one that Jake Benavenga at first couldn't get to, didn't have the range to get there. Excuse me.
You can, yeah.
So here comes Nolan Evans, back-to-back players with the name of Evan hitting. It's 1-0 Finger Lakes. And I was just about to say that Tim Mack is doing a phenomenal job. And then, of course, I announcer jinx him. He gives up the triple.
Yeah,
So that's on me, Tim Mack. And off of third right now is Cuba. That pitch goes to the glove of Mack, collects it, underhands toss it to first for the third out. Tim Mack escapes the inning. He gave up 1 run, had 3 outs. The outs were either ground outs, a pop-up, or a hit right back to him. And the Doubledays team is going to go out there and give their assistant coach high fives for a great inning. 1-0 Finger Lakes Lakers. We're going to make our way to the Doubledays at-bats in the bottom of the first. We'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Welcome into the bottom of the first inning. It's 1-0 Finger Lakes. Stepping up to the plate for the Auburn Doubledays. That's number 6, Stephen Ambrosio, who's the left fielder tonight. Out there on the mound is number 23, Alex Fetter. And the first pitch is in there for a strike, and we are underway here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, interestingly, at one point, Fetter played for Finger Lakes Community College, another team that goes by the Finger Lakes Lakers. It seems like this Rochester Baseball League squad didn't really get too creative in their naming, and then Feder transferred to the University of Pittsburgh Bradford.
Ambrosio goes down swinging. That's Steven Ambrosio for the first out here in the bottom of the first. And here comes Michael Ambrosio, who's batting 167 on the season. He's got 3 hits, 1 double, 2 RBIs. First pitch to him, this is for a ball.
No immaculate inning for Alex Feder after striking out Steven Ambrosio in just 3 pitches.
That one misses for a ball as well. Count is 2-0 to Michael Ambrosio. So the Finger Lakes Lakers are seeing about 70 miles per hour from Matt, whereas the Doubledays from Feder are seeing almost mid-80s from Feder.
Yeah,
Talk about a bit of a difference there.
Definitely a bit of a difference. And while the Doubledays don't seem to be taking this game too seriously, it looks like this Rochester squad is putting the best of what they've got out there.
That one's in there for a strike. Count is tied 2-2 to Michael Ambrosio. That one in there at 83 miles per hour. That's outside for a ball. Count is now full at 3-2. On deck for the Doubledays is Miles Fontaine, the extra hitter. The pitch. This one's going to be popped up first base side. Running back is Pat Bigham, and he cannot come up with it. It drops right in front of him. Staying alive is Michael Ambrosio. Lucky that Bigham could not come up with it. And for the defense for the Lakers, left to right, Kyle Wood at third base, Joe Wintermute at shortstop, Matt Hall at second base, Pat Bigham at first base. Behind the dish is Joey Santa. Left field, Evan Cuba, Nolan Evans in center, and right is Jacob Thomas, and the pitcher is Alex Feder. Count is full. The payoff pitch on the way. This one's going to be hit on the ground to Wintermute, who gloves it. Throw to first in time for the second out. Good scoop there by Pat Bigham to redeem himself on the foul ball that dropped just a tad bit in front of him. Throw was just a little bit low, but Bigham was able to scoop it for a great second out.
Bigham definitely was able to get to that pop out that he ended up dropping. Yeah, definitely a great way for him to recover from that mistake.
2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Miles Fontaine steps up to the plate. He's listed as the extra hitter. He's batting 174 on the season with 4 hits. First pitch to him is in there for a strike. No swing. He's got 3 RBIs on the season. This is his 16th game he has played in, 10th game he has started. He's working with 2 outs and no one out. The 0-1 breaking ball finds the zone. He's now down 0-2 with 2 outs. A breaking ball at 70 miles per hour. The 0-2. This one swung on a miss, and the Doubledays go 3 up, 3 down with no hits, no runs. They're down 1-0. We're going to make our way to the top of the second inning. We'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We're back here in the top of the second, 1-0 Lakers. Leading off for them is Ryan Johnson, the designated hitter. A lot of righties in the Lakers lineup. I don't think we've seen a single lefty so far.
Yeah, all righties so far. Ryan Johnson actually one who set the lineup for today's game.
Put himself at the 6th spot in the lineup. He's ahead in the count 1-0 to Tim Mack. Pitch from Mack. Popped up, out of play. First base side, well foul. Count is now tied 1-1.
See, I don't know. If I was making the lineup myself, I think I'd have too much ego. I'd probably put myself like in the 3-hole, maybe at cleanup. I don't think I could put myself at 6.
I think I'd put myself leadoff.
That's fair. That's fair. Most opportunities.
But I also know my own speed, so that's probably why I do that.
Yeah. We
Or
know
maybe,
you
you
can
know
make your
what,
way around
maybe
the
I
bases.
humble myself and I put myself in the 9th spot. Because you talked about my stats on stream one day.
We did talk about your stats
So
on
that's,
stream.
you know what, I'm humble.
No reason to be humble when you could be cocky.
That one misses for a ball. 76 at Tim Mack. Count is now tied 2-2. Mack still looking for his first strikeout on the night. Could do it here. The pitch. This one's popped up. First base side. Bentavenga catches that one on his left side on the move for the first out.
That was a pop-up. Bentavenga's used to that. Normally he's behind the plate as a catcher. Right there, that was like a simple pop-up that he just has to get underneath and track down with his glove.
Here's Jacob Thomas, the right fielder, working with 1 out, no one on. The pitch just misses for a ball.
Boy, it was in mayhem when during lunchtime when all those little kids were first in the dining hall, and then you got the little kids basketball kids.
The 1-0. This one misses for a ball upstairs. Count is 2-0. Mack in the first inning gave up a single and a triple, and the rest were groundouts and a pop-up. The run was earned on him, and getting the triple was Evan Cuba in the first inning. Right now, he's working with a 2-1 count to Jacob Thomas, again a righty. The pitch. This one's popped up out of play behind home plate. Count is now tied 2-2. Mack again working with a 2-2 count. Still would love his first strikeout. Comes set, kick steals. There it is. Foul tip into the glove of Tavares. Down swinging goes Jacob Thomas for the first strikeout of Tim Mack's career as an Auburn Doubleday.
And that was great to see. But you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see the other Tim assistant coach, Tim Bowerman, out there. Well, why doesn't he get into the
We
action?
tried to persuade him to go out there, but what was he saying? I forget what he was saying. I think he was saying that he was afraid of me going out there and doing better than him or something.
Yeah, that
like
was
that.
probably
And
it.
you. He was saying he was afraid of you
Yes.
doing better than him as well.
The announcers, we could form our own baseball team.
The press box crew.
Oh yeah, get Jimmy over at from the scoreboard. He could be involved.
Here's Matt Hall, second baseman, working with a 1-1 count. The pitch from Mack. It's swung on and whipped by Hall. He's down 1-2. Mack already has a strikeout. He struck out the last batter. He's looking for another one here. The 1-2 just misses outside. Beautiful frame from Jose Tavares there. Fooled me. It looked like it was right down the middle. Count is now tied 2-2. That one clocked in at 77 from Mack. The 2-2. This one's going to be hit in his center field and drops for a base hit in between Michael Ambrosio and Ryan Morrell. It goes to the wall. Making his way to third base is Matt Hall. The throw will not be in time. Another triple given up by Tim Mack in back-to-back inning. This time getting the triple is Matt Hall.
That's just bad luck for Tim Mack. That ball went right where there wasn't a single fielder. Morel and Ambrosio just sprinting to get it, but Matt Hall could outrun them all.
They both did a great job of getting the ball in to prevent a run from potentially coming in. However, that is a runner 90 feet away from scoring for the Lakers. And stepping up to the box is the catcher, Joey Santa.
Some MLB teams.
Breaking ball. Finds the zone at 63 miles per hour.
Some MLB teams do that.
Off third is Hall. The pitch. This one's fouled up. Well out of play, first base side. Count is now 0-2. Umpire called the first one a strike. The 2-strike, 2-out siren has gone off here in the top of the second at Falcon Park. Tim Mack already has a strikeout on the inning. Another one here would be electric. The 0-2 fouled up out of play. That's one for the Doubledays ball boy to collect. So still an 0-2 count for Tim Mack.
Look at that full speed sprint.
The pitch. This one's popped up. Mack calling everyone off. Makes the catch himself for the third out. A run is left stranded for the Finger Lakes Lakers. No runs given up that inning. 1-0 Lakers. We're going to make our way to the bottom of the second inning, where the Doubledays are going to try to take the lead here. We'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We're back for the bottom of the second inning. It's 1-0 Finger Lakes. Stepping up to the plate is the first baseman, Jake Bentavanga. That pitch is hit to the glove of the pitcher, Fetter, who made a phenomenal play stopping the ball. He backhanded the ball behind his back, stopped it with his glove, able to make the play to first base. I mean, wow, what a play there from Fetter to pick up the first out. That's unlucky for Benefanga, who swung at first pitch that he saw.
Fetter has had no issue with the Doubledays so far. We'll see if Connor Rumpf can change that here.
First pitch to Rumpf, misses for a ball downstairs. And that's right, Ryan. So far, 4 batters that Federer has faced. He's retired them all. 1-0 to Rump. The pitch. Misses for a ball. Count is 2-0. Rump steps into this one with a .259 batting average. This is his 10th game he started all season. He has 7 hits on the season. He hits this one to the shortstop, Joe Wintermute, who collects it. Throw to first is in time for the second out. That's a 6-3 putout in the books. And quickly, the Doubledays are working with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Stepping up to the plate, that's Tristan Rocha. Rocha's .250 on the season with 1 hit and 4 at-bats. This is the second game he has started all season. First pitch, no swing for a ball. Better set. Rocha rips this one well out of play, first base side, for strike 1. 1-1 count. Better kick steals. This one's fouled off again. First base side. Hits the Dick's Sporting Goods sign over there. Counts 1-2. Calling timeout is the catcher Joey Santa. Timeout is over. Rocha steps back in the box, down 1-2. Fetter from the windup. Kicks, deals. The 1-2. This one's fouled off again. Rocha doing a phenomenal job of staying alive. He's all over Fetter. Just can't seem to find his perfect timing.
And the Doubledays just have to focus on racking up these at-bats and pitch count against this pitcher.
This one's fouled off yet again. Rocha is doing a great job of wasting the pitch count of Fetter.
Yeah, according to the roster that we received from the Finger Lakes Lakers, they only have 2 players in the dugout right now.
The 1-2. Look out. That one almost clipped the home plate umpire. He had to move behind the catcher, Joey Sena. As Sena extended his glove, he got away from him. Count is 2-2. Counts tied 2-2. Fetter kicks, steals the pitch. Breaking ball misses well outside. And Rocha has worked himself back into the at-bat.
We're approaching the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Rocha's done a great job here of staying patient.
The payoff pitch. This one's fouled off. Well out of play. Count is still full. Rocha still looking for his pitch because he is all over Fetter. If he gets his pitch, he's going to be able to drill it wherever he wants. The payoff pitch. This one's outside, ball 4. Rocha works a walk. That is the first Auburn Doubleday to reach first base safely against Fetter. With 2 outs and Rocha on first base, here comes Dustin Wortham. First pitch to him is in there for a strike. Batting .211 on the season. Next pitch misses for a ball.
Wortham played in yesterday's game where he went 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. So he's involved in 4 of the Doubledays' 5 runs in that game.
He's working with a 2-1 count here as the 67-mile-per-hour breaking ball misses the zone. The pitch. That's in there for a strike. Count is now tied 2-2. Better comes set. The pitch. That misses for a ball, and just like that, the count is full. Fetter was ahead in the count. Wortham's now back in the at-bat. Wortham has walked 4 times this season. Payoff pitch. This one's outside for ball 4. Back-to-back walks given up by Fetter. Rocha's on second. Wortham's on first. And with that, that'll bring up Jose Taveras, the catcher for the Auburn Doubledays.
Tavares this season batting just 167, definitely the lowest of the routine catchers for this Doubledays squad, but he's proved to be both an asset behind the plate and he can hit at very timely moments as well.
This one's going to be hit just foul. First base side. Count should be tied 1-1. So far in this inning, Fetter started out with a ground out right back to himself and a ground out to shortstop. And from there, he's walked back-to-back batters.
Now it's on Tavares to see if he makes the pitcher pay for being a little inaccurate with the batters before him.
Pitch. Both runners go. A double steal by the Auburn Doubledays, as advancing to second base is Dustin Wortham with a stolen base, and on third base is Tristan Rocha.
Interestingly enough, it didn't seem like both runners were going to take off originally. It looked like it was just going to be Rocha going for third, but once Joey Sana behind the plate dropped the ball, Wortham took off for second.
This one's fouled off the glove. Sana for strike 2 to Taveras. And if Taveras gets a hold of the ball and puts it in fair play, 2 runs will score for the Doubledays. That'll put them in the lead, so no pressure here for Taveras. The pitch, a breaking ball outside, misses for a ball.
That was just 64 miles per hour, but if it got away from Sana there, that would have been dangerous, and the Doubledays could have tied it.
Fetter comes set. The pitch. That will be ball 4 to Taveras. Back-to-back-to-back batters that he has walked. He started out the game very strong. In the first inning, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Started out the second with 2 ground outs. From there, giving up 3 straight walks. And with that, one of the coaches for the Lakers is going to make his way out there to the mound to go talk to Alex Fetter. And this is a huge moment for the Doubledays as Luke Wire steps up to the plate. He is one of the only 2 Auburn Doubledays batters to hit a home run this season. Wire has 1. Monahan has 2. So this is huge for him. And this is huge for Fetter to try to get out of the inning without giving up any runs.
Yeah, and after Guire today, it's not just going to be Will Ragland. Because Guire's batting 9th, Will Ragland's batting 10th. Normally, after the 10th batter, it would flip back over to the top of the lineup. Today, there's an 11th batter. Ryan Morrell is the 11th batter in the lineup tonight.
First pitch to Guire is fouled off behind the plate. Count is 0-1 with 2 outs. Off first base is Taveras. Off second is Wortham. Off third is Rocha. The 0-1. This one swung on a miss. Dwyer chasing a tad bit, as that one was above his chest. Doubledays are now down in the count, 0-2 with 2 outs. Fetter to escape the jam. Dwyer to get a base hit. Who wins this at bat? The 0-2. Strike 3. Wow, says the home plate umpire. And the catcher, Santa, had to reach downstairs for that one. And one of the assistant coaches for the Auburn Doubledays is going out there to go talk to the home plate umpire because he could not believe the call as well. With that, that's a backwards K for the pitcher, Alex Fetter. And that will leave 3 Auburn Doubledays runners stranded, and it will still be a 1-0 game at the top of the third. With that, we'll be back after a brief break for the top of the third. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back on the Doubledays YouTube channel. We're back for the top of the third. It's 1-0 Finger Lakes Lakers, and leading off for them is Jesus Rodriguez Ramos, the extra hitter. And, you know, we were also coming into the game confused ourselves because we thought that the Doubledays were either playing Ottawa or Oneonta, but they're playing Finger Lakes. And
Yes.
that was confirmed correct, so we saw the comment. We also thought the same thing, but they're playing Finger Lakes tonight. They are not playing Ottawa or Oneonta.
Yeah, there were a lot of conflicting reports, but yeah, the PGCBL website itself had Finger Lakes scheduled, so they had it correct, but then the social media, I believe, did not.
This one's hit right to the glove of Wortham, who collects it. Throw to first is in time. What a play by the Doubledays third baseman to pick up the first out here in the top of the third.
That flips it back over to the top of the order. Kyle Wood, the leadoff batter, will now come up with 1 out on the bases.
Kyle Wood hit for a single in the first, then got out trying to advance to second base from fielder's choice by Joe Wintermute. First pitch from Mack is in there for a strike. Count is 0-1. So not only in between innings did we, try to figure out what happened there, but there was a pagel toss.
There was.
Here at
And it
Falcon-
wasn't into the
Falcon
stands
Park.
like I thought it was. It was instead of bagel toss by a few kids into a bucket. And I got to say, I have some confidence I could have tossed bagels better than they did out there.
I mean, you probably got 10 years on them, though,
That's
Ryan.
fair.
Don't you think that's a bit harsh?
Well, they have to get some life experience, and one way to get that experience is by losing to me in a bagel toss.
You're going to be a great dad someday, Ryan.
Thank you, Evan. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Counts 1 and 2. The pitch. This one's going to be hit into center field, dropped right in front of Ryan Morrell for a base hit. Again, for Kyle Wood, who is a single machine to start off the night.
Yeah, he seems to have Tim Mack's numbers so far. He's just waiting for the right pitch and then capitalizing as soon as he sees it.
Wintermute steps up to the plate. He hit for a fielder's choice in the first. He got on and scored. Mack comes set from the stretch, kick steal. This one misses for a ball. Counts 1-0. This one's fouled off against the net. Count is now tied 1-1.
Number 9? He's probably just trying to kill it.
The 1-1. That misses for a ball. Count is 2-1. Good stop there by Taveras. Keep Wood on first base. The 2-1. This one's going to be fouled off. First base side well out of play. Two count coming up to Wintermute. Mack comes set, kick steals the pitch. And there goes the runner to second, a strikeout for Mack, his second on the night. But advancing to second base is Kyle Wood with a stolen base. That's the first stolen base on the night for the Lakers and the second strikeout on the night for Mack. There's 2 outs here in the top of the third. And with that, that'll bring up Pat Bigham, Off of second base is Wood. The pitch from Mack misses for a ball. Counts 1-0.
Yeah, this is the third straight inning where Tim Mack has put a runner in scoring position. We'll see if he's able to get out of the jam like he did in the last half inning.
Breaking ball misses for a ball. Count is 2-0. There goes the runner again to third base. Taveras with the throw down in time, says the field umpire. Jose Taveras with the laser to third base to get Kyle Wood, who was trying to steal. That will end the inning. Beautiful throw by the catcher for the Auburn Doubledays. No runs come in. We're going to make our way to the bottom of the third. We'll be right back. We're back for the bottom of the third. Leading off for the Auburn Doubledays is the extra hitter, William Ragland III. The pitch from Fetter is fouled up. Count is 0-1. We are underway here in the bottom of the third.
The Doubledays still looking for their first hit as Ragland swings and misses there, but they did get 3 runners on base last inning.
Ragland comes into this one batting .300 on the season. He has 9 hits and 30 at-bats. He's working with a 0-2 count. The breaking ball just misses outside, says the home plate umpire. Staying alive is Ragland. The pitch. This one inside. Ragland had to move out of the way, and so did the home plate umpire. Count is tied 2-2. This one's going to be hit right to the glove of Joe Wintermute. Unlucky for Ragland, who absolutely smashed that ball. That's the first out here in the bottom of the third inning. A line drive right to Wintermute, who barely had to move. And here comes Ryan Morrell, the dad to Jacob Morrell, who's looking to end the hitless bid for the Doubledays so far here in the bottom of the third.
It would be electric to see him get a hit here. This is the at-bat I've been looking forward to all game so far.
He's now down 0-2 in the at-bat. The 0-2. This one's fouled off. Morrell makes contact with it. The Doubledays bench loves it. The 0-2. This one swung on a miss. Morrell goes down swinging a tad bit above his head.
We can chalk that up to old age maybe, or just some rust. He's got to get a few at-bats to get back used to game speed.
Yeah, that's my fault for saying chasing. He was excited. You could tell he was excited. The Doubledays bench loved it.
Yeah,
However,
he did chase.
That's the 4th strikeout on the night for Fetter. And here comes Steven Ambrogio, who struck out swinging in the first. He's now down in the count 0-2. And the Doubledays in trouble, going 3 up, 3 down again. The 0-2. This one, cut on and missed. The 5th strikeout on the game for Fetter. And the Doubledays go 3 up, 3 down with no hits, no runs in the bottom of the third. 1-0 Lakers. We'll be right back for the top of the 4th on the Doubledays YouTube channel. Top four, 1-0 Lakers, leading off for them will be Jack Bigham. First pitch he sees, he swings at and misses. Still out there on the mound for the Auburn Doubledays is Tim Mack, who after the first inning of play is having a phenomenal pitching outing. He's got 2 strikeouts on the night in his first appearance of the season. This one's ripped on the line to Luke Wire, who gloves it. Throw to first is in time for the first out. A 6-3 putout. Start the fourth.
Wire didn't even need to go run up on that ball. He just waited for it to roll into his glove, tossed it over to Bentavenga, out number 1 in the books.
Evan Cuba steps up to this one. He has a triple on the game. He hit 1 in the first.
And that drove in the only run scored so far in this game.
This one's in there for a strike. And the Doubledays through 3 full innings have yet to pick up a hit against Fetter. Whereas Mack has given up 4 hits so far to the Lakers, as this one is hit in the air right field side, well out of play. Ricochets off of the Lakers clubhouse. Counts 0-2. The righty Cuba. Mack comes set. Kick steals the pitch. This one's fouled off. Almost same location. Count is still 0-2.
Mack just tossed his 50th pitch of the day. Curious to see how long he stays in throughout tonight's contest, which is a full 9 innings, by the way.
The 0-2. This one's going to be hit in the air, center field. And that catch is made for the second out. And it looks like we have a substitution out in center field. If my eyes are correct, that should be number 25, Burt Maxim, out there in center field, as Ryan Morrell appears to be done out in center field. That's an F8 in the books for the second out here in the top of the fourth. Stepping up is Nolan Evans, who hit it right back to Fetter to end the inning in the first. A breaking ball is hit into center field for a base hit. Evans' first hit of the night is a single that keeps things going for the Lakers here in the top of the fourth with 2 outs.
That would have been a tough one for Morrell to get to. Good thing Burt Maxim is out there in center now.
Ryan Johnson steps up to the plate. He flew out to the first baseman, Bentavenga, to start off the second. He's working with 2 outs and Evans on first. Keeping him close is Bentavenga. The pitch. This one's going to drop for a foul ball. Says the home plate umpire. Unlucky for Johnson and lucky for the Doubledays, because that one was well to the right of Michael Ambrosio in right field, and that could have been a triple for Ryan Johnson. Home plate umpire called that one pretty late, if you ask me. It looked like it was almost fair.
I think it was the right call. I do think it was foul, but it was right on that line. It was tiptoeing it.
And stepping off is Mack, who tries to pick off Evans. It's not in time. Count is 0-1 to the righty Johnson.
Evans is being aggressive out there. I don't hate that move.
Mack comes set. Kick steals the pitch. This one misses for a ball. Count is 1-1. Not sure if that's it for the night of Ryan Morrell, but I'm hoping that he set a statement to his son Jacob Morrell to show him how easy center field is.
Maybe.
I think he did a good job out in center field tonight.
Yeah, he was looking good out there. He was moving.
He had some good catches. You know, he had some good runs. Some that, if he was maybe 10, 15 years younger, he could have gotten to quicker. But I think he did a good job. The 1-2. There goes the runner to second. The throw down from Severus. Wow, not in time, says the field umpire. Looked like it was an out from this angle. That one missed for a ball. Count is 2-2. Beautiful throw again from Jose Taveras. And an even better tag by the second baseman, Tristan Rocha. So making his way to second base safely is Evans with a stolen base. Count is 2-2 to Ryan Johnson. The pitch from Mack is going to be hit to the glove of Jake Benavenga, who dives and catches it. Stepping on first base in time is Tim Mack. What a play for the first baseman, Jake Benavenga, to dive for the ball and make the stop. And Tim Mack with the running catch to step on first base in time for the third out. The Doubledays love that one. They applaud Benavenga and they applaud Tim Mack. That will end the inning. A run is left stranded for the Lakers. 1-0 Lakers. Will make our way to the bottom of the fourth. We'll be right back on the Doubledays YouTube channel. Welcome into the bottom of the fourth. If you're just joining us, I'm Evan Carocchio, joined alongside by Ryan Story. The time is 7:30 p.m. exactly. The lights are on. Sun's starting to set here at Falcon Park. And due up for the Auburn Doubledays is one of the two Ambrosio bros. That's Michael Ambrosio, who grounded out to the shortstop Joe Wintermute in the first. He's now down in the count 0-1. A breaking ball blown right by Ambrosio for strike two. Alex Fetter, still out there on the mound, has yet to give up a hit through 3 full innings. The 0-2, this one swung on and missed. Michael Ambrosio goes down swinging for the first out here in the bottom of the fourth.
There's 3 consecutive strikeouts recorded by Alex Fetter, dating back to last inning.
I mean, he has been sharp against the Doubledays tonight. His stuff is working. His breaking balls look phenomenal. And here's Fontaine, who holds up on that one, a breaking ball that just missed the strike zone. Beautiful hold up there by Fontaine, who was a strikeout victim in the bottom of the first that ended the inning. This one misses for a ball. Count is 2-0. Getting his money's worth behind the plate is the catcher Joey Santa, who's going to chase after both of those balls. Counts 2-0. Fontaine set in the box. The pitch. This one's in there for a strike, says the home plate umpire. Count is 2-1. Score is 1-0. Doubledays have yet to pick up a hit, like I said, through 3. And they left 3 runners stranded in the second. All 3 of those runners walked. All 3 of them left stranded. And there's ball 4 for Miles Fontaine. That's the 4th walk given up on the night by Alex Fetter, and that ends the streak of him striking out batters. And with that, there's another mound visit for Alex Fetter. If this is it for him, this would be kind of a questionable move.
He's only at 62 pitches. Would have to be something with a pitch count restriction, I imagine, if he's coming out here.
There is a pitcher warming up in the Lakers bullpen. He's warming up to a catcher, but it looks like this might just be a pep talk, or it could be, hey, you've only got this amount of pitches left. Go out there and get a strikeout.
Could be.
It could be one of those moments. But we'll see, because Fetter's still out there on the mound. He's going to face off against Jake Bentavanga with 1 out and a runner on first. Bentavanga grounded out to Fetter to start off the second. Fetter looks at Fontaine. There goes Fontaine. The throw down to second. Not in time. And it gets past the second baseman, Matt Hall, and goes into center field, and collecting it is Nolan Evans.
That toss by Joey Sana might have gotten there in time, but the tag just wasn't applied properly. It got past the glove of the shortstop.
Yeah, it was a beautiful throwdown pickoff attempt by the catcher, Joey Sana. Just the tag got away from Matt Hall, like I said. So the Doubledays have a runner in scoring position in Miles Fontaine, who's off of second base. The 1-0 to Bentavanga is in there for a strike. Count is tied 1-1. There goes Fontaine again. Sana with the throwdown is wild, but a beautiful stop by the third baseman, Kyle Wood, as that one would have gone into left field if he had not made that diving grab. 2-1 count to Bentavanga. Another stolen base for Fontaine, and the Doubledays have a runner 90 feet away from scoring. The 2-1. This one's going to be ripped to the left field for a base hit. Jake Bentavanga with an RBI single to put the first run on the board for the Auburn Doubledays here in the bottom of the fourth. And there goes the no-hit bid. And it looks like one of the coaches for the Lakers, number 24, Johnson, has made the call to the bullpen. So just like that, 1 hit, 1 run scores, making it 1-1, a tie ball game here at the bottom of the fourth. And we have a new pitcher coming in for the Lakers. We're going to find out who that is as the new pitcher warms up. We'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. One out here in the bottom of the fourth. Tied game 1-1. The new pitcher for the Lakers is number 3, Matt Hall. He's done at second base. Going to face off against Connor Rump. First pitch to Rump is a ball, and we are underway after the pitching change. Rump is 0 for 1 on the night with a ground out to shortstop in the second. Doubledays are dealing with a runner on first, who goes down to second. The throw down not in time. Jake Ventavanga with a stolen base to put another Doubledays runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the fourth.
Another throw that was timely but inaccurate. He just has to throw that more to the right side of the bag. Then he has a chance of throwing him out. And that's just Ventavanga's 3rd stolen base of the year.
Ventavanga toying with the pitcher right now as this one is knobbed off the end of the bat by Rump. The throw to first is in time. That's the second out here in the bottom of the fourth as Rump is retired on a 4-3 ground out. But making his way to third base is Jake Ventavanga. Here comes Tristan Rocha, who walked, picked up a stolen base, and got left stranded in the second. He started the 3 back-to-back batter walk skid in the second, where none of them scored. And stepping off the mound is Hall, try to intimidate Ventavanga. The pitch, breaking ball, finds the zone. That one clocked in at 68 from Matt Hall.
He's got an interesting windup. It's very slow.
That one misses for a ball. Good stop by the catcher, Joey Santa. Count is now tied 1-1. The pitch. This one fouled off. Count is 1-2. Two outs. 1 ball, 2 strike is the count, says the home plate umpire. Hall comes set, kick steals, the pitch. This one misses upstairs for ball 2. Two to Rocha. Misses for a ball upstairs. And just like that, Rocha, who was down in the count 1-2, has found his way back in the at-bat, working with a full count approach coming up. He's set in the box. Hall getting his signs from his catcher. The payoff pitch on the way. Misses for a ball. Rocha reaches first base safely again tonight. Here comes Dustin Wortham. The third baseman who walked in the second is dealing with 2 runners on and 2 outs.
One important note is that if Jake Ventavanga does end up scoring this inning, the run will be credited to Alex Fetter rather than Matt Hall.
There's the throwdown to third baseman Kyle Wood. Throw by Joey Santa was a little bit low. And that's another great stop by Kyle Wood again to keep Ventavanga on third, but advancing to second is Tristan Rocha. Clearly, the Lakers were not worried about Rocha at all. They were worried about the lead runner, Ventavanga, as that one finds the strike zone to Wortham. Wortham has 4 RBIs on the season, 1 swing in the bat of the at-bat. We'll give him 2 more as he swings at the breaking ball there and sends that one well foul. Right of the right field line. Count is now 1-2, and this is back-to-back at-bats where the count has been 1-2 to a Doubledays hitter. Let's see if Wortham can try and work a walk like Rocha did, or try and get a base hit and score some runs. The 1-2 from Hall. This one cut on a miss. And there's the first strikeout on the game for Hall. The Doubledays score a run here in the bottom of the fourth, but they leave 2 runners stranded. Tie game 1-1. We're going to make our way to the top of the fifth. We'll be right back. Top 5, tie game 1-1. Leading off for the Lakers is Jacob Thomas. He's 0 for 1 on the night against Mack, who's still out there on the mound. The pitch, a breaking ball, is caught right to the glove of Luke Wire, the shortstop. A running grab to his left. A beautiful play by the shortstop Dwyer to pick up the first out here in the top of the fifth.
And props to Tim Mack, man. You know, he comes to this game having not pitched in a long, long time and outlasts the starting pitcher for Finger Lakes and Alex Fetter.
Here comes Matt Hall, who was the second baseman to start the game. He's now the pitcher. He hit a triple in the second. He's dealing with 1 out and no one on. The pitch. This one's going to be hit in the air. Running back is Tristan Rocha. Coming in is Michael Ambrogio. 1 hit, 1 out again. There's 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. Only a couple pitches thrown and already 2 outs. A beautiful outing to start out the fifth for Tim Mack. Joey Santa, the catcher, steps up to this one. He flew out to Tim Mack to end the second. The 0-0. This one's going to be hit in the air. Severus cannot come up with it. Hits off the net. And what could have been a 3-pitch inning for Tim Mack ends up not happening thanks to that dang net here at Falcon Park.
Evan, what's more impressive, the 3-pitch inning or the immaculate inning?
I think immaculate, in my opinion, as that one dropped for a ball. And immaculate is pretty much striking out the side.
Well, it's 9 straight strikes.
9 straight strikes, excuse me.
So, yeah.
If you're able to
does
throw
strike out the
9
side.
straight strikes, that's phenomenal. I mean, obviously, 3 pitches is phenomenal because it lowers your pitch count. As this one is smashed to left field. Running back is Steven Ambrogio, and he drops the ball in left field. Wow. Steven Ambrogio with the error in left field. An easy one right to his glove that he drops. And he's definitely upset with himself out in left field. Cannot believe it. Mistakes happen. No one is perfect. That's unfortunate for Ambrogio.
That's just a 2-footer in golf that you think is a guarantee and you end up smoking it by the hole. Sometimes you just make that simple mistake because it's too easy of a play.
So that's an error on Ambrosio, the first Doubledays error of the game. And with that, there's a pinch runner in for Joey Santa. And stepping up to the plate is Jesus Rodriguez Ramos, who grounded out to the third baseman in the third. Mack gives the runner a look off second. Kick steals the pitch, is in there for a strike. And we were just saying that Tim Mack could have had a 3-pitch inning, and now the inning is extended with a runner at second base. The 0-1. That finds the strike zone. Count is 0-2, a breaking ball that clocks in at 64. 2-strike, 2-out siren has gone off here at Falcon Park again.
Rodriguez Ramos has to swing eventually.
The pitch. Just missed for a ball. Count is 1-2. Mack comes set, gives lead runner a look off second. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Tim Mack does it himself to pick up the third out. His third strikeout on the game. He leaves a runner stranded. Tie game 1-1. We're going to make our way to the bottom of the fifth for the Doubledays at bats. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Doubledays YouTube channel.
Back here, bottom of the fifth inning, it's a tie ball game between the Auburn Doubledays and the Finger Lakes Lakers. And it's a new pitcher for Finger Lakes, Bailey Geither, on the mound for the Lakers right now. Wearing 27, the same number on the back of his jersey as Joe Wintermute over on shortstop.
Yeah, 227s out there on the field, a bit confusing, but
No, I'm not sure yet. I gotta
Wintermute
find-
is still at shortstop, and there's new 27 on the bump, and he seems to be the hardest thrower on the night, as that one clocked in at 88 miles per hour to Tavares.
Yeah, Jose Tavares at the plate, and he doesn't swing there. That's ball 3. Tavares so far this game has only had one prior at-bat in which he walked. When he walked there, it was to load the bases back in the second inning. But then the next batter, Luke Guire, struck out in 3 pitches. Tavares right now took that last pitch for strike 1. Still ahead of the count 3-1. Swings at that, hits it into shallow right field. The blooper gets over the head of the first baseman, Bigham. That's a base hit for Jose Tavares.
Tavares reaches first base, safely for the second time tonight. He walked in the second, now picks up a hit here in the 5th, and here comes Luke Guire.
Nevin, would you look at that? The Doubledays for the first 4 innings only had 1 hit, and as soon as I take over, they get a hit on their first batter.
Must be nice.
Unbelievable.
Must be the good luck charm or something.
I don't know. They still scored a run with you, so who knows? We'll see if the Doubledays can take the lead here. It would be their first lead of the night. Luke Guire, he's going to lay out a bunt, a beautiful one that trickles over towards the pitcher. The pitcher-catcher nearly collide. A base hit for Luke Guire. What a perfect bunt to advance Jose Tavares to second and himself to first.
Couldn't ask for a better bunt attempt by Luke Guire. In the second, he struck out looking. He redeems himself here with a bunt that was so fortuitous. It puts him on first base safely and on second base safely as Tavares. I mean, just a phenomenal bunt there by Guire.
Now, Evan, you used a big word there. Can you break that word down for us?
Beautiful, like, good-looking bunt.
Okay, fair
Pretty
enough.
bunt.
Not all of us have a college degree already.
You going to Syracuse?
Yeah, but I don't have the degree. I still have to graduate. I take all my English classes senior year.
Good luck with your English classes.
Yeah, we'll see. I might pass them. Might not. Maybe I'll
Pass 'em.
Maybe I'll fail them intentionally to take a 5th year. Anyways, with the 0-1 count, it looked like Ragland wanted to lay down a bunt. Instead, he pulls it back. Does not get rewarded. There's strike 2. Ragland in the hole, an 0-2 count after 2 looking Ks. No outs yet and 2 runners on. That pitch is fouled off. Ragland just barely staying alive. He only got a slight sliver of that ball. Bailey Geither gave up 2 hits in his first 2 batters faced. Trying to right the ship here. After Ragland, it's going to be Burt Maxim filling in for Ryan Morel, as he already has out in center field. There's a chopper right up the middle. It's tossed Jacob Thomas over to short, and he can't get there in time. And the umpire was looking the wrong way. The decision goes to the home plate umpire, and he's ruled out.
Wow. I mean, how can you make this call? The field umpire wasn't even looking. They were going to him. And then the home plate umpire had to make the call. Yes, the home plate umpire should be in charge of home plate and third base as the home plate umpire. But I don't even know if he was looking either.
Yeah, that's a weird play to say the least. And yeah, there's a double play for the Lakers. So William Ragland hits it to second. Jacob Thomas tosses it to Joe Wintermute for the first out. Then Wintermute throws it over to Kyle Wood for the double play, leaving Luke Guire alone at first base. And so, with that, that brings up Burt Maxim, who swung at the first pitch he saw and misses.
We saw him go in center field for Morale in the 4th, working with 2 outs and 1 runner on, and try to get things going for the Doubledays here in the bottom of the 5th.
That evens up the count. By the way, Bailey Geither right here is pitching much faster than we've seen from any of the other Lakers today. That pitch just hit 89 miles per hour. And there's another big hack at it by Maxim. He does not come up with any air. Guy there resetting. Looks like we have a pinch runner on first. Excuse me, no, it's William Ragland on first. And there's strike three. Burt Maxim goes down swinging on all three strikes. And that'll send the Doubledays into the sixth inning, still tied 1-1. After having two runners on and no outs, they come up empty-handed. Stay tuned for more Doubledays action coming your way as we head to the sixth inning. Back here, top of the sixth inning. It's still tied after the Doubledays went down in a weird and awkward way in the bottom of the fifth inning. Now, both teams are starting off the sixth with the top of their orders. It's Kyle Wood, the leadoff batter, kicking things off for the Lakers. He has two singles today. Has not gotten out, or he did get out actually in that third inning at bat. He stole one base, then was caught stealing. This time, skies it high into the air. Burt Maxim tracking it down and getting underneath it for the first time Kyle Wood has gotten out today.
Yeah, Kyle Wood was a single machine to start out the game. The first and third, he had two singles, and he picked up the stolen base as well in the third. But lucky here for assistant coach, now pitcher Tim Mack, to work a fly out of him because you do not want to get him on the base paths.
So that brings up Joe Wintermute, who scored the only run of the day for the Finger Lakes squad. And there's a crack right up the middle. The play made by Guire. He tosses it over, and it gets past Jake Bentavenga. The throw wouldn't have got there in time. Looks like that ball careened into the dugout. And that means that Joe Wintermute will get at least one more extra base. And yeah, so he gets to advance to second on the ground rule out of play. So with Wintermute now at second, Pat Bigham steps up to the plate. Bigham is 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to center in his first at bat and then grounded out to start off the fourth inning. And there's Wintermute taking off the throw. Down to third. Is not in time. Dustin Wortham couldn't collect the toss by Jose Tavares. And now Joe Wintermute is just 90 feet away from scoring the go-ahead run.
I mean, that was just a great throw, a bullet from Tavares, and an even better stop by the third baseman Wortham. The throw was there, it just couldn't be made because it was bobbled, as the throw was a tad bit low.
It's now a 1-1 count as that strike in there against Bigham. It's swung on. It's hit deep into left field. This one and is caught, but will score in a run as Joe Wintermute tags up. Steven Ambrosio caught it out and left, but could not get it in time. A sacrifice fly for Pat Bingham as he absolutely smoked that one.
Yeah, that one looked like it was going to be hit off the wall in left field with the power that Pat Bingham swings with. Instead, it's a sac fly out that scores Joe Wintermute, putting them ahead 2-1. So it could have been a 2-run home run. Instead, it's 2-1.
So it's now Joe Wintermute 2, Auburn Doubledays 1, as Wintermute has scored both runs for the Lakers today. The pitch in there for strike one against Evan Cuba.
And with 2 outs and no one on, this is the guy that you want to get out here to end the inning, as he hit a triple in the first. You don't want to get him on the bases safely as well.
And there's strike three. Cuba rug up in 3 pitches. He takes the backwards K to end the 6th inning, but the Lakers have the advantage over the Doubledays 2-1 when we return here in the bottom of the 6th inning on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, Finger Lakes leading the Auburn Doubledays 2-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's the top of the order for the Auburn Doubledays. They have to respond to the Lakers after the Lakers put up 1 run in the top of the 6th. Steven Ambrosio lets the first pitch from Bailey Geither this inning fall in for strike 1, an 80-mile-per-hour fastball. Now it's Ambrosio laying down a bunt just like Luke Wire. This one a little faster to the toss. Will not get there in time. It actually gets past the first baseman, Pat Bingham. And there's Ambrosio getting over to second off of the throwing error by the pitcher. So that's a single for Steven Ambrosio. And then an error on the pitcher, getting him to second base, putting Michael Ambrosio at the plate with the chance to knock in his twin.
Michael Ambrosio.
Michael Ambrosio 0 for 2 on the day, but hey, so was Steven. This is each of their first at-bats against Bailey Geither. Maybe they've got something in their blood that makes Geither susceptible to that. Michael Ambrosio this season batting just 167. We'll see if he can pick up the key hit here. He looked to lay down a bunt, pulled it back. There's ball 1. Steven Ambrosio taking a heavy lead off of second. He was bouncing around. Looks like he's going to try to test Joey Sana. Another time where Ambrosio shows bunt, pulls it back, and that's ball 2.
What? Yeah, well, I'm seeing.
Ambrosio with the 2-0 count.
Unfortunately, I have it all the time. But I've never known how to do it.
And this time he will try to lay down that bunt. There's strike 1 as he was not able to come in contact with the ball.
Other people are acting weird.
That was an 87-mile-per-hour fastball that blazed right by his horizontal bat. Another bunt he tries to lay down, and there's strike 2.
Good coach for being 22.
He's what?
Pretty good coach for being 22.
It's a 2-2 count. After Michael Ambrosio, it's Miles Fontaine on deck, Jake Pentevenga in the hole. Miles Fontaine has scored the only run the Doubledays have today. The 2-2. Low and outside. That breaking ball nowhere near the strike zone. We've got a full count here to Michael Ambrosio. Bailey Guider is in danger of putting both Ambrosios on the bases. We'll see if he avoids it here. The payoff pitch. The kick. The throw. That's just outside. Michael Ambrosio takes first. The brothers share first and second.
Now adding the extra hitter, number 29, Miles Fontaine.
Miles Fontaine up to bat. He's 0 for 1 on the day, but his last time out, that was back in the 4th inning. He walked, and then he stole second, and then he stole third.
Miles Fontaine.
Fontaine laying down a bunt, not trying to hide it at all. He was showing it before Guider even got into his pitching movement. Before he got into the windup. As it's now a 1-0 count after Fontaine pulled back his bunt. He's showing again. The windup, the toss, and it's fouled off by Fontaine. He tried to pull it back. Guider, the third pitcher for the Lakers today. He's up to about 25 pitches.
This is gonna be.
The Ambrosio's on first and second with no outs. Showing bunt yet again. This time it's over to the pitcher. Bailey Guider tossing it to third, and he makes the risky play. Not able to get the toss in time. Stephen Ambrosio advances safely to third. Michael Ambrosio to second. Miles Fontaine gets there to first.
The first baseman, number 27, Jake Pentevenga.
So after that fielder's choice play, where Bailey Guider tossed to third instead of first, where he did have the almost guaranteed out, that makes bases loaded with no outs. Pentevenga at the plate. He's 1 for 2 today with a single his last time up. That single scored Fontaine from third. He swung and missed at that first pitch. Now for the second. Again, base is still loaded. He doesn't go there, right on the edge of the strike zone, but he's rewarded for his patience. Pentevenga this season, batting .259. He takes a huge hack at that. It's fouled off. The normal catcher playing first this game, he's playing out of position, and he's down to his last strike in this at-bat. After Pentevenga, it goes to Connor Rumpf, then Tristan Rocha. The 1-2. The pitch. It's in, and there's strike 3. Pentevenga rung up, and he is not happy about it. There's the first strikeout of the inning for Bailey Guider, just his second of the day. Excuse me, his third of the day. So after Bentavenga is rung up looking, that brings up Connor Rumpf, who's grounded out in each of his at-bats today. He's 0 for 2. It's a 1-0 count. And there's strike one, Rumpf not swinging. Rumpf, just like Bentavenga, entered today batting .259, but he's got a slightly better slugging percentage up at .333. As he hits a little dribbler that's just fouled down the left side. Bailey Geither has the chance to escape this inning with an out here as he Rumpf down to his last strike. That would just put the Doubledays at 2 outs, but it would be a step closer for this Lakers squad, escaping still in the lead here at the bottom of the 6th inning. The 1-2 swung on hit towards the shortstop. The play, glove to Wintermute, tosses it over to first for the out. It's in time as Bigham gloved it, but Stephen Ambrosio scores from third. We've got a tie game here at Falcon Park, 2-2, bottom of the 6th inning. Still 2 outs on the board.
Now batting the second baseman, number 39.
That's an RBI ground out for Connor Rumpf as Fontaine advances to second. Michael Ambrosio to third. Stephen Ambrosio scores from third. Tristan Rocha up to bat. 2-2 ball game. It's hit right at the third baseman, and it's ruled a foul ball. Two game, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning. It's an 0-1 count to Rocha. Thanks for sticking with us here at Falcon Park, 8:15 p.m. And there's strike 2 in against Rocha. The Doubledays haven't been thrilled with the umpire strike zone today. And it's swung on hit. A dribble over to the third baseman, Wood, tossing it to first and gets there in time. The Doubledays can't take the lead, but they do tie it up as we head into the 7th inning. 2-2 here at Falcon Park. Stay tuned for more Doubledays baseball here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here, top of the 7th inning. The Finger Lakes up to bat after the Doubledays tallied 1 run in the 6th, tying what the Finger Lakes were able to put up, what this Finger Lakes squad was able to put up. So there's a shot into left field, a fly out, Nolan Evans to Steven Ambrosio. 1 pitch, 1 out. We've seen a lot of that today with Tim Mack pitching.
Oh, well,
So that should be F7.
It looks like we have potentially a pitching change in for Tim Mack, as his night appears to be done through 6th and a 3rd. In fact, there is a new pitcher coming in for the Auburn Doubledays. I'm sure Tim Mack will walk off with a ton of cheers by his teammates. Well, the team that he coaches.
Yeah, just a thunderous applause here from his teammates as they're trying to hype up the Falcon faithful. Tim Mack walks off with applause. 76 pitches thrown, 56 strikes, only 2 runs given up, 6 total hits and multiple strikeouts for Tim Mack. We'll have more information on this next Doubledays pitcher when we return here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Well, we're back here in the top of the 7th inning, and it's a new pitcher on the mound, a familiar face, not quite an assistant coach pitching, but someone who's getting his first reps this season on the mound. That's Braden Michelson, who you guys might know as being a routine first baseman for the squad, one of the better hitters on the team, batting .273, slugging .424 this season. Well, he's on the mound right now. He's pitching here in this exhibition game against Finger Lakes.
And he was all giddy walking up to the pitcher's mound. You could tell he was very excited to make his first pitching outing with the Auburn Doubledays tonight.
And his first pitch was a strike. He's getting in the high 70s, low 80s so far. His first batter that he's facing is Ryan Johnson after Nolan Evans flew out to left to end the day for Tim Mack, and there's strike 2.
He's in the head and the count 1-2 here. A strikeout would be huge for Michelson, and I'm sure the teammates behind him and on the bench are going to absolutely explode if he does work a strikeout.
1-2 breaking ball misses outside. He was trying to bait Johnson into swinging. No dice. Johnson's 0 for 2 on the day, popped up and grounded out. And there's a low fastball that misses outside. So after getting ahead in the count 1-2, it's now full. Michelson trying to start his day off on the right foot instead of the wrong one. The 3-2 swung on, and that's a chopper into right field. A base hit for Ryan Johnson. Barely got off the ground, but did get into the outfield.
Okay. That's his first hit on the night. He was 0 for 2 with a flyout and ground out. This might get things going for the Lakers here, as Johnson is listed as one of the coaches for the Lakers. So maybe that's why the Auburn Doubledays went with a coach on the mound, because they wanted a coach on coach stool throughout the game.
I believe it was Tim Bowerman, who's basically the head coach for tonight's game, more or less. And Thomas Eaton also there, but seems like the Tims have been doing a lot of the heavy lifting here in tonight's exhibition. Jacob Thomas up to bat as there's a toss over to first. Michelson playing some catch with his usual position. Jake Bentavanga is taking over first for him temporarily. The fastball misses low, 80 miles per hour. Johnson not playing too far off that first base bag. That's a crack into left field. Steven Ambrosio getting underneath it. He makes the snag while running backwards. Not quite like the error he had earlier today where he was standing straight still. Maybe he just needs some challenge to make it interesting for him.
Phenomenal play there by Steven Ambrosio on the run behind his back. Couldn't ask for a better play from your left fielder to pick up another out.
And that's the first out recorded by Brandon Michelson, the second out recorded by the Doubledays this inning. And now with 2 outs on the board, Michelson's trying to escape scot-free. It's Matt Hall up to bat right now. Hall actually was in as the pitcher for a while for this Lakers squad. There's the first strike against Hall. We saw Alex Fetter start off the game. Matt Hall was in as that first reliever out of the bullpen, and then it's been Bailey Geither's game ever since. The 1-1 count, swung on, hit right at the shortstop, and Guire going to do it himself, beating Ryan Johnson to second for out number 3. The Auburn Doubledays mired in a 2-2 tie with the Lakers as we hit the 7th inning stretch. We'll be back in the bottom of the 7th inning. Don't go away here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Back here, bottom of the 7th inning, Dustin Wortham stepping into the batter's box, and still Bailey Geither on the mound for the Lakers. I'm Ryan Story alongside Evan Carocchio on the call as Take Me Out to the Ballgame just played through the 7th inning stretch. First pitch finds the strike zone. Wortham falls behind 0-1. It's Geither still on the mound. He's, as that pitch makes it 0-2. Geither's up to 38 pitches total on the night. The Doubledays looking to score here. They only have 2 innings left between the 7th and 8th if they want to avoid going up to bat in the 9th of this exhibition game. Big swing and a miss from Dustin Wortham. He goes down in 3 pitches. Jose Tavares stepping up to the plate. He has not gotten out yet today. Walked in the 2nd, singled in the 5th.
Unlucky for Wortham there. He's now 0 for 2 on the night. Looked like he almost had a piece of that one. Instead, he whiffs. And here comes Tavares, who has reached first base safely 2 times tonight. Would like to get a rally going for the Doubledays here in the 7th.
He's up at the count 1 after a guy there misses the strike zone. That one swung on, fouled off, hit directly backwards up towards the press box. Tavares started that little rally in the 5th inning that didn't end up scoring a run, but certainly got the Doubledays close. If you remember, there's a little bit of controversy with a double play off of William Ragland hitting into a fielder's choice. It's been a fairly evenly played game so far. That's hit high into center field. Nolan Evans getting underneath it, and will easily snag that for the second out of the inning.
Doubledays have been all over the pitchers tonight for the Lakers, just have not been able to foul the gaps as they are being out-hit tonight, 7 hits to 3. Here comes Luke Wire, who picked up a single in the 5th. Really need a 2-out rally here to get things going here in the 7th.
2 outs on the board. Big chop at it from Guire. That's hit into deep left field, but ultimately the out recorded by Evan Cuba. A quick 1-2-3 sends the Doubledays into the 8th inning. Stay tuned for more Auburn Doubledays baseballs. They're in a tie game right now. Stay tuned for the 8th inning. We're back here in the top of the 8th inning. Finger Lakes 2, Auburn 2. Ryan Story alongside Evan Carocchio on the call. And it's a new pitcher on the mound for the Doubledays. We saw Tim Mack take the first, looks like 6 1/3 innings. And then to finish out the 7th, in came Braden Michelson getting his first action of the season. Now on the mound, it's Brendan Smith, another pitcher on the mound for the first time this year. As we're switching out our cameras, sorry for the delay. We'll be right back in a second. It's still on the radio call, though. The 1-0 count in there for strike 1.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
awesome. Good to know.
Joey Santa at the plate. Santa swings, hits it down the third base line, just foul. That was awfully close to being an extra base hit.
Santa still looking for his first hit on the night. He's 0 for 2 with a flyout and an error in the 5th. And that one was awfully close to his first hit on the night.
And that error was the somewhat egregious drop by Steven Ambrosio, which he's certainly made up for as of late, especially scoring the tying run back in the 6th inning. As Santa scoops that into center field, Burt Maxim getting underneath it for the first out. The F8 brings up Jesus Rodriguez Ramos with 1 out on the board, no runners on base. And so far, it's been interesting. Finger Lakes nearly doubling up nearly doubling up the Doubledays in terms of hits, 7-4.
Ramos comes into this one 0 for 2 on the night. It's his first time facing off against Brendan Smith. 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout.
Yeah, he was one of the last few players to be struck out by starting pitcher Tim Mack. And now it is a 1-1 count. And so that pitch is high. We've got a pinch batter right now. Logan Meisner is the pinch batter. So instead of Jesus Rodriguez Ramos, it's Logan Meisner facing the 2-2 count. Smith looking for his first strikeout. The 2-2 swung on and this. Brendan Smith picks up a beautiful swinging K and gets out number 2 of the 8th inning.
The Doubledays fans love to see that one. His teammates behind him are hyped. Brendan Smith picks up his first Doubledays strikeout as a pitcher against the pinch batter, Frank. I mean, what a strikeout to pick up your second out.
So with Logan Meisner going down there, that brings up Kyle Wood, the leadoff batter, who's up for his 3rd go-around today. He singled his first 2 at-bats, then flew out into center field there to start off the 6th inning. Quick 2-0 count after Brendan Smith can't find the zone through his first 2. And there's ball 3. Smith in danger of letting up his first base runner. One thing the Doubledays have done good, though, today, they haven't been walking batters. Maybe that's been a challenge for them because so far, exactly 0 walks until now, and Smith keeps the streak alive. Meanwhile, we saw with Finger Lakes, that might be the one thing they've struggled with most today. And a pitch right on the edge of the strike zone. Wood was ready to toss his bat over to the dugout. We'll see if the baseball gods give some karma there as he's stepping back into the batter's box. A full count. The 3-2 pitch just inside. And now he can toss that bat over safely. Wood takes first.
Very close for Smith there. That one just missed inside. He would have gone 3 up, 3 down against the Lakers. Just a tad bit unlucky. Still got 2 outs there, so let's see what he can do against Joe Wintermute.
And Wintermute, not the player that the Doubledays want to see at the plate right now. He's only 1 for 3 on the day, but he scored both of the Finger Lakes Lakers runs today. Pitch high, throw down to first, not in time. Tavares trying to catch Kyle Wood slipping. Smith at 78 miles per hour there, mirroring what we saw from him in his warm-up pitches. Wintermute doesn't go. That's strike 1. Kyle Wood staying tight to the bag. He's not moving much off first. Now in somewhat of an athletic stance, and there's a toss back over to Jake Bentavenga, trying to keep Wood more honest. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. The Doubledays want to get back up to bat. That's fouled off by Wintermute. The Lakers down to their last strike here at the top of the 8th.
The 2-strike, 2-out siren has gone off yet again. Last time there was a walk-in up by Smith. Let's see what he can do here. Well ahead in the count.
Smith has some room to work with. Does not need to throw a strike here, but he does, and that's fouled off. Wintermute stays alive. He was a little bit late swinging at that one. Had to wait for it to come in and ended up just barely being able to foul it off. Wood off first. Wood looks like he's about to take off, and there's a reaching swing from Joe Wintermute. Uncharacteristic, lazy strikeout from him. Brendan Smith picks up a second strikeout of the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning to see if the Doubledays can take the lead here at the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th inning. If the Doubledays want to avoid coming up to bat in the 9th, this is the moment for Auburn. William Ragland will kick off things for the Doubledays. He's going still against Bailey Geither, the pitcher, who has been in for quite some time now. The Doubledays scored in the 4th and 6th, matching what the Lakers were able to score in the 1st and 6th. As there's a crack over to the shortstop, Joe Wintermute. He got out to end the top half of the inning, and he gets the out to put out number 1 on the board. William Ragland III sits down.
I said it before and I'll say it again. The Doubledays are all over the pitching tonight for the Lakers. They're just really unlucky not finding the gaps at all. And that was unlucky for Ragland. He couldn't beat out the throw. Here comes Burt Maxim. In his first at-bat, he struck out. He's going to want revenge here to try to get a one-out rally going.
Yeah, that 11 spot for the Doubledays today, unique to see. We haven't seen that all season. This is the first game as an exhibition with 11 batters. And now Burt Maxim trying to race out the throw from Wintermute. And Wintermute sits down the Doubledays yet again. Burt Maxim can't outrun the arm of the shortstop.
Burt Maxim was on his horses down first base trying to beat out his throw. A+ for effort there. Just couldn't reach first base safely in time. Another great throw by the shortstop, Wintermute.
Can we see the 3-pitch inning? There's a chance of it right here. Steven Ambrosio up to bat against Bailey Geither. Geither will not get the 3-pitch inning because Ambrosio does not swing. But there's strike 1 on the board as Geither nearing 50 pitches.
3 and 10. 3 and 10. Thanks.
The 0-1 gets past the catcher, Joey Santa. And there's ball 1.
10 minutes. Last call.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. The Doubledays just unlucky today. They've been putting their bat on the ball, and they've only gotten 4 hits. Just has not been their day in terms of getting they've gotten quality contact, just hasn't fallen in the right spots. There's ball 2 for Ambrosio.
And they got out by the shortstop Wintermute a total of 5 times tonight. Really shouldn't hit it over his way at all.
Well, this time Ambrosio hits it the opposite way as Wintermute hits it over backwards to the right. That makes it a 2-2 count, 2 outs on the board here in the 8th inning. The 2-2 pitch swung on and missed. Steven Ambrosio goes down on strikes. And that takes us to the 9th and final inning of this exhibition contest. 2-2 still. Stay tuned for more Doubledays action. Here at Falcon Park, 1 inning left of baseball in this clash between the PGCBL and the Rochester Baseball League. The Doubledays still tied 2-2 with the Finger Lakes Lakers. Flynn Shoop on the mound now for the Doubledays. They're just putting anyone out there on the mound. Shoop also getting his first action as a pitcher this season. He'll be going against Pat Bigham. For the Lakers this half inning, we'll see Bigham, Evan Cuba, then Nolan Evans.
Bigham is 0 for 3 on the night tonight. Has yet to pick up a hit against any Doubledays pitcher. Flint Shoop wants him to go 0 for 4 on the night. And, you know, typically in the major leagues, we see position players go win when it's a 10-plus run game. And it's fun to watch. But this has been fun to watch all night with different Doubledays position players going into pitch.
And they've been doing good out there.
Yeah, it's been a treat for us to watch here in the press box. And definitely the fans, something that they'll remember for the rest of the season, how fun this night was.
Yeah, and maybe this is something that if the Doubledays saw, something they liked in one of those position players, they could maybe use them at some point. As there's a shot into center field, Burt Maxim with the grab for the first out. So Pat Bigham, who had actually drove in the run in the 6th inning with a sac fly, he goes down there on the fly out. And that brings up Evan Cuba, who is 1 for 3, had a triple the first inning, but has not scored or has not got on base since then. He actually struck out in his last at-bat. Cuba hits a chopper over to the pitcher. Flynn Shoop gonna flick it over to Jake Bentavenga for the second out. We've seen a lot of first pitch outs here today.
A lot of one pitch, one swing, one outs, and a lot of 1-3s tonight in the books. A lot of balls hit right back to the pitcher.
Now
Just
Nolan
not lucky
Evans.
for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, it really has been. That brings up Nolan Evans, who's also 1 for 3. As he does not swing at that pitch, the fastball hitting the outside part of the strike zone. It's a 0-1 count. Shoop so far, 5 pitches, 4 strikes thrown. Still unclear as to whether there will be extra innings here in this exhibition game. As of right now, we're assuming there's not, but make sure to stay tuned here in the bottom of the ninth inning to see if the Doubledays can plate the winning runs.
The 2-strike, 2-out siren has gone off yet again at Falcon Park. Let's see if Shoop can pick up his first strikeout here.
He can't, as that pitch just outside. Good patience by Nolan Evans to stay disciplined, not swinging, not chasing. The 1-2 count, Evans still behind. Breaking ball, that'll be popped up into the air. The catcher Tavares going for it, can't get there in time. The Sioux nearly sprinted into the wall. The count remains 1-2 with that foul ball. Thanks for sticking with us as we hit 8:48 p.m. Relatively quick moving game so far. Not to announcers jinx it.
You just did.
I don't know. We don't know if it happened. We'll know for sure after this batter, probably. Nolan Evans. That pitch low and inside. That makes it a 2-2 count with 2 outs.
And going back to last pitch, Tavares was kind of upset with himself that he couldn't come up with that one, but
He was close.
he was very close. Again, A+ for effort, but that's a tough play to make with your mask right in your face.
Swung on, fouled off. Evans just staying alive. We're approaching the 7th pitch of the at-bat. The sun finally really coming down here on this beautiful Friday night. The weather has been perfect throughout this game. The 2-2 swung on, hit high. It's staying in the infield. The third baseman, Dustin Wortham, getting underneath it, and there's out number 3. The top half of the 9th is done with. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Can the Doubledays end this in regulation? Find out here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We're here, bottom of the 9th inning. The Doubledays have 3 outs to try to record the win in regulation. It's Michael Ambrosio leading things off. His brother Steven was struck out to end the 8th. Now Michael trying to get his get back. It's Michael Ambrosio, then Miles Fontaine, and Jake Bentavenga. He's going to lay down a bunt, and that's too strong. Gets to the pitcher. The toss from Geither gets to Bingham in time. 1 throw, 1 out. Evan, we just keep seeing that today.
Yeah, a lot of balls really hit right back to the pitcher. And they haven't even been tough plays at all. They kind of just been right back to the pitchers. And all they've had to do was just on a hop right to them and then underhand toss to first or chase it down a little. So like I said earlier, unlucky for both teams.
With 1 out on the board, Fontaine tries to swing at the first pitch he sees. Can't connect on that golf swing.
He's someone that's been on first base already tonight. He walked in the 4th and picked up 2 stolen bases and scored. Doubledays, if they want to win here in the 9th, they're going to need him to get on.
That pitch clips the edge of the strike zone, and he's in the hole, down 0-2. Fontaine trying to calibrate his swing. He does not go. The umpire thought about it, does not ring him up. Fontaine still trailing, but at least some room to work with here. The 1-2 pitch high and outside. And now the count's evened itself back up. Guy, they're just over 55 pitches on the day. He's pretty much matched what the starting pitcher Alex Fetter threw. As we've only seen Finger Lakes rotate through 3 pitchers today. It's swung on, it's hit up into right field. Matt Hall tracking it and caught just in fair territory. There's out number 2.
Again, unlucky for the Auburn Doubledays because Fontaine hit that really well in fair territory. A beautiful track down by Thomas in right field to pick up the second out.
Just 1 out remaining for the Doubledays. It's up to Jake Bentavenga to keep this 9th inning alive. Bentavenga takes a huge swing at it in his first go-around, goes all the way around the world, but does not come up with the ball. On deck is Connor Rumpf if it comes down to it.
Bentavenga already has 1 hit on the game. Doubledays are going to need him to hit again for a 2-out rally.
And that hit did drive in the Doubledays' first run on the day, but he struck out in his last at-bat with a chance to drive in a runner. The Doubledays faithful getting loud as that pitch is inside. Now a 2-1 count. Bentavenga's done a good job today of staying patient. That pitch low and away. Doesn't have much to think about with a pitch like that. Now 3-1 after that 86-mile-per-hour fastball. Geiler sets the toss, and it's fouled off. That would have been low. Hard to say if it would have found the zone. A full count with 2 outs on the board. Here in this tie game, the bases are still empty. The full count swung on and strike 3. Bentavenga goes down swinging. We'll see if play continues here at Falcon Park. It does. It's still up in the air. It does not look like it as of right now, as the coaches will confer with the umpire. One finger is being held up by a lot of players. We might have 1 extra inning. That looks like what it's going to be. As a hand was shook. Doubledays are running out there, and yes, I believe we have 1 extra inning. That's the assumption we'll make from up here in the press box. As Thomas goes to chat with the home plate umpire.
1 extra inning.
1 extra inning. So here in the 10th, we'll see what the Finger Lakes Lakers and the Auburn Doubledays can do when we return here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel.
Ragland.
Back here, extra innings here at Falcon Park. Just the second time we've had extra innings here all season. And it's William Ragland III on the mound. He's been the extra hitter throughout tonight's contest. Now he gets to warm up his arm a little bit out there. As the Doubledays actually have, for the first time today, a pitcher on the mound who has thrown for them before this season. Ragland enters today with a 5.4 ERA through 2 appearances, so this is his third. He has an 0-1 record and 1 save recorded. No chance of a save here with a tied ball game, top half of the 10th inning.
And the way I'm thinking about it is, I don't want to just, leave the game and not know who wins just because it's an exhibition game. I want to see who's going to try to win this game. And yes, it's only going to be 1 inning, but there's a chance that the runner on second base could score and put them in the lead, and then the Doubledays don't score, or they don't score and the Doubledays have a runner on and they score. So I like this because we'll get to see who's going to win.
Yeah, it's Nolan Evans out there on second.
No, I have no idea. Well, I was there.
So Ryan Johnson up to bat. It's a 2-0 count. And it's getting real dark here at Falcon Park. Luckily, that's what we have the lights for. As we hit 9 o'clock, thanks for sticking with us here at Extras on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Ryan Story alongside Evan Carocchio on the call. Ryan Johnson so far tonight is 1 for 3, but that single did come in his last at-bat. He was actually the first batter to go against a pitcher other than Tim Mack, as Mack made it deep into the 7th inning here in today's contest. He's got to be the player of the game no matter what. Just coming as an assistant coach to go out there and pitch like that. That's very impressive.
It definitely showed the whole team up tonight, showing them how good of a pitcher he is and showing them, I guess, how easy pitching is.
That feels like
say that.
It had to come from like a locker room challenge, I imagine. They're just like, oh yeah, you can't do it anymore, old man. He proved them wrong. Johnson steps back into the batter's box after fouling that last pitch off.
That he was like, Jesus, without one.
It swung on, hit right at the second baseman, Rocha, tossing it to first. Ben Kavenga snags it for out number 1, but the Lakers advance Nolan Evans over to third.
1 out, 1 runner 90 feet away from scoring. See if the Lakers are able to push that runner to home.
And if Evans scores, it makes it all the more difficult for the Doubledays in the bottom half of the 10th. Again, just 1 inning will be played here in Extras. That pitch falls in for strike 1 right on the outside. And there is ball 1. After Jacob Thomas, who's up to bat right now, by the way, he's 0 for 3 on the game, it is Matt Hall, who's 1 for 3 with a triple. It's swung on and missed. There's strike 2. Thomas swings and misses.
1-2 count. This is huge for Ragland. Would love a strikeout here to get his first on the season.
Thomas
Just second out.
Thomas just looking to get a ball in play. Because that pitch was right there on the edge. It's hard to say if it was in or out of the zone. I don't know. Maybe Tavares should have used his ABS challenge.
Yeah, that one was definitely close. Way too close for comfort, for sure.
It swung on and missed. No confusing that one. Ragland picks up the strikeout. Thomas goes down swinging. Matt Hall up to bat. 2 outs on the board. We'll see if Ragland can escape the 10th with no runs given up. The first pitch swung on, hit, it's short, over to Ragland, and Ragland can't glove it. The second baseman, that's where he normally plays, and he could not pick up the ball. And just a brutal turn of events as Matt Hull will pick up a credited base hit there.
And that's just extremely unlucky.
Yeah, just extremely unlucky as Nolan Evans scores from third. Joey Santa up now with a 1-run lead and a runner on first, 2 outs on the board.
Ragland immediately beating himself up after that base hit that he gave up. That's just a really tough play. And that's finally one of the hits back to the pitchers. That was a really tough play for a pitcher to make. And if the Doubledays do lose this game, it's not on Ragland because that was a very tough play to make.
And also, you look at it, Evans started on second. It's really hard to discredit Ragland. But yes, he still probably should have made the play. I could see why he'd be upset with himself. But anyways, it's an exhibition game. As there's a pitch that just misses the zone, it looks like. Still 2 outs on the board. Ragland trying to escape having given up just 1 run. That marks the 8th hit of the day for the Lakers, by the way, as they now double up the Doubledays, who have just 4. That was the first hit for the Lakers since the 7th inning. The Doubledays haven't recorded a hit since all the way back to start off the 6th.
Well, Ragland just walked Santa there, so he's on first. On second is Hall, and here comes the pinch batter. The pinch batted for Ramos in the 8th.
Yeah, Logan Meisner up to bat with the 1-0 count. Just 4 pitches thrown in that last at-bat, a 4-pitch walk. As that breaking ball misses high, and it looks like that missed grounder has stuck in Ragland's head as he's thrown 6 straight balls. The 2-0 count. Ragland trying to respond. There's one down the middle. It's skied high into right field. Michael Ambrosio underneath it. He gets the 3rd out of the inning. The Doubledays have a 1-run deficit to recover from when we return here at the bottom of the 10th inning.
We're back here for the bottom of the 10th. It's 3-2 Lakers. The pinch runner, or the runner that starts on second base, is number 15, Chase Moore. And 2 up for the Auburn Doubledays. It's Connor Rumpf. The designated hitter tonight is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. The Doubledays have a power hitter pinch hitting for them. If Rumpf is not able to end the game here with a home run, And we'll tell you who that pinch batter is in a moment if you can't already tell who it is. Off of second is Chase Moore by a tad bit. He's dancing around the pitch. That one's in there for a strike to Rump. Doubledays fans are stomping and clapping. They're making some noise here at Falcon Park. The 0-1 is cut on and missed. Count is 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Chase Moore still on second. The 0-2. This one's going to be popped up, well out of play, first base side. That's a souvenir for the young fans here at Falcon Park as they all scramble over there for that ball. Still an 0-2 count as Rump stays alive. Moore off of seconds. And calling timeout as Rump, home plate umpire, waved off the pitcher from pitching. And Rump's going to take a moment to get some practice swings in and calm himself down. Count is still 0-2. The pitch. That one plugs him. A hit by pitch given up to Connor Rump, and Rump was fired up, taking off his gear. A hit by pitch puts Rump on first, Moore on second, and if you haven't figured out who that is, that's PGCBL All-Star Teddy Monahan pinch hitting for Tristan Rocha. As his night is done, Rocha at the plate worked 2 walks, 2 stolen bases, got left stranded both times. Monahan, an extra base hit, could win the game for them. The 0-0. That misses for a ball to Monahan. And Monahan, who's been the hero for the Doubledays all season, can come up huge for them in this exhibition game here. Pinch batting in the bottom of the 10th. Pitch. That's in there for a strike.
He was just named an All-Star. Can he deliver now with runners on first and second? No outs. He's got plenty of breathing room.
The stomp clap is in play from the fans. Count's tied 1-1. The pitch. This one's fouled off. Left field line.
Guy, they're up to now 70 total pitches on the day.
Count is 1-2. The fans do not want their energy deflated. They don't want Monahan to strike out or ground out or fly out or any of the above. They want to see him hit. As the pitcher steps off, Moore was well off second. He's going to go back safely. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Monahan goes down chasing. That's the first out here in the bottom of the 10th, and Monahan cannot believe himself right now. Brendan Smith, who we saw pitch, is pinch batting for Justin Wortham. Wortham's night is done. He went 0-2 at the plate with 2 strikeouts. He walked, and this one's going to be hit. Skied into right field. Both runners were trying to double steal, and that one drops. No catch made by Jacob Thomas, who was against the fence in right field on long foul territory. He could not come up with it. So it drops, and both runners who were double stealing are going to have to go back to their bases regardless.
Yeah, but Chase Moore likely would have gotten to third from second, and that would have been huge for the Doubledays.
Count is 0-1 to Brendan Smith, a power hitter for the Doubledays. The 0-1. That's in there for a strike. Smith is down 0-2.
In yesterday's game, Smith went 1 for 2 with 1 run scored and 2 walks. We'll see if he manages to get on here.
He's down in the count 0-2. Both runners are off their bases. Pitcher comes set. Looks at Moore. Gives him another. The 0-2. There goes Moore. The throw down to third is in time, says the field umpire, and Coach Eaton cannot believe it. He thinks he avoided the tag. Wow, that's the second out here in the bottom of the 10th, and the Doubledays are down to their last out here in the 10th.
But Connor Rumpf still on second, still in scoring position. Smith really just needs a single.
Smith's at bat wasn't look like it was going to be the ending at that. He's down 1-2 with 2 outs. What can he do here with the runner in scoring position? The pitch outside and upstairs for ball 2. Count is tied 2-2. Just unlucky for Chase Moore. It looked like he avoided the tag. Instead, he can't get around it and was called out. Doubledays fans still making noise. Count is tied 2-2. The pitch swung on and missed, and that will do it. The noise here at Falcon Park has deflated, and the Finger Lakes Lakers beat the Auburn Doubledays with the final score being 3-2, and tonight's 10-inning, extra inning exhibition game. The Doubledays unlucky as they were able to put in Teddy Monahan and Brendan Smith to hit. Both struck out. They were not able to produce in extra innings. This was one of the most fun games of the season, however, even though the Doubledays lost, thanks to a bagel toss,
Yes.
an assistant coach pitching, and position players pitching as well. It was such a fun game. Unfortunate that the Doubledays could not come up with it. It was also Little League night here at Falcon Park. And the biggest thing for the Auburn Doubledays was they were out hit by quite a lot tonight. 8 hits to 3, and that was pretty much one of the biggest factors. They could not find the gaps. They lost by 1 run, but they just weren't scoring at all. They were extremely unlucky.
Yeah, they just didn't have any explosiveness at the plate. But guess what? There'll at least be some explosiveness tomorrow, or you could say fireworks. There will be fireworks in tomorrow's game here at Falcon Park against Newark. Make sure to either come to Falcon Park, that's at 6:30, or tune in here on this live stream.
You can watch the fireworks with Ryan and I, as we both hug and watch the fireworks
Of course.
at Falcon Park. But that'll do it. I'm Evan Carocchio. Alongside Ryan Story, we'll be on the call tomorrow night at the time starting at 6:30 against Newark, like Ryan said. So for Ryan Story, I'm Evan Carocchio saying so long and have a great night. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's exhibition game. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel.